Hey Scrapper Names fans, and welcome back to a process video. I have got an art journal page to share with you today, one that I feel like I haven't done an art journal page in like forever. So starting off with this hideous looking page that has what was the remnants of a jelly plate print, and then I put some texture paste over it because I thought, you know what, I'm just going to see if I can get it to work. Now the texture paste was done way before this video. It was a use it up spot. So I thought, you know what, I'm actually going to challenge myself to fix this art journal page because as you can see, it looks pretty hideous. So what I'm starting with is some Jane Davenport collage papers. I showed you just there. I love my Jane, and ripped. I kind of just ripped bits and pieces of it. Oh, this one's not. This, when I pulled the collage papers out of the box, there was this piece sitting front and center. So I thought that's my focal piece. So just using some Liquitex matte gel medium, I'm going to use that to adhere my collage stuff to my page. Now, I go to use my big paintbrush there, but then remembered I had this blue rubber silicone brush that I just specifically brought for this purpose. It's easy to clean and wipe off. I don't so much use it for texture paste because my texture paste is really thick. I use a palette knife, but I usually use it for this purpose, for gel mediums, because it can make the brushes, the bristles on the brushes go a bit funky. But yeah, so just ripping up with no real intention except to try and cover up the, poo-coloured brown basically in the background, paint in the background. Yes, so I was going to try and challenge myself by keeping a little bit shining or poking through, but I think in the end I actually covered the entire page. But that's okay. Whatever. Not wasting a page in my journal. And as you can see, the other side, the left-hand side page also has it on there. But I didn't feel like doing a double page spread. So all my collage pieces are now added. So various bright colours, as well as I ended up adding some text tissue paper in as well. And now it's up for the next layer. So I did dry that in between layers here. So I did blast a little bit with my heat gun on the matte gel medium just to make sure it was all sucked down. And now I'm just going through with some blue Dylusions paint and basically just covering in bits and pieces around the collage paper. Can't remember what colour blue this is. It's not Calypso Teal, because I think the Calypso one was the one that I went to use and it was all dried and gloggy. This is another one of my favourite blues in the Dylusions paints. My biggest challenge with art journal pages is to make them look, to keep them messy as such. They don't have to be clean and perfect like a scrapbooking page. Yeah, there's no looking through it as such. It's more for me. So now I'm going to pull out some stamps because I thought, why not add a layer of stamps? So my process here is I already had 2 layers. One layer I didn't like, obviously, the colour paint. I then had the texture paste come through, that stayed through with the thin layer of paint I added. So then I've added a layer of collage papers, tissue paper. Now I'm adding paint, and then, now I'm adding stamps. All dried in between, so no running or anything like that. But really, it was just me playing around with some different materials, mixed media materials, and creating some different layers here. And just seeing how it goes. And using some stamps, like these stamps I brought ages ago off a scrapbooking garage sale site thing on Facebook and have barely touched them. So hence my stamps are sitting next to my desk so they get used, and this is a great example of that. I pulled out a fair few stamps to try and use. I still tried to go with the theme for the art journal page, going from what was originally my focal point of the tissue paper, the Jane Davenport one. But then I thought, oh, maybe I'll make this stamp. And then it was really faint and it was only small, so I changed my mind. And then I just went, you know what, bugger it, I'll just go nuts. And just using up some bits and pieces and different stamping, kind of tied to the cheery laugh, whatever it says on the tissue paper in the corner.
Wait, where's the tissue paper? Never mind.
In my other book. I have a little helper on the other side of my desk. That's whose voice you might be able to hear in the background. So now, layer number, we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be essentially layer number 6. Is adding some die cuts that I have just randomly, well, not randomly, but that are just left over from different ephemera packs that I have. There might be leftover kit pieces, or just that I haven't used up yet. So I've just grabbed some different ones. Some of these are from like a Kaiser Craft pack. I think some are from a Pink Fresh Studio one. As I said, they're all just bits and pieces. I do adhere them with some wet glue so that they stick, as opposed to using just normal double-sided tape. Double-sided tape is not strong enough on this kind of mixed media. It's far too many layers on it. Too heavy for the tape adhesive to sit. Trying to remember there doesn't have to be perfect placement, but I didn't want it to look, yeah, it's my mind, I guess. I like organised. Yes, my art journal is somewhere where I try to not be an experiment. So I wanted to use, with the paints, going back a step, I was going to add some lighter paints, then realised that brown or browny red colour would come through. So I had to go with another colour I liked, but that wasn't too dark. I didn't want another dark colour on my surface. So as you can see, I've used the blue. Like I could have used, I was looking at yellows and pinks and oranges, but I just thought they're going to be far too light because I was only doing a thin layer to come, like the other colour would come through, and I don't know if it would look very good. So I kind of just left it. But I like the blue. It ties in well. So adding some more stamping here. This is a Colour Blast stamp I got in one of their kits when I was a kit subscriber a while back. And what else? What else do I have happen next? Oh, then I decide I think it's my final layer would be, as layer if you want to call it, I guess, is some paint pens. So I get out my Posca paint pens. This one is a thin gold one, and I just outline some bits and pieces around the page. So like this one is some of the texture paste, the hearts that run from the texture paste, just to add some more colour into it. It ties in the yellow goldy colours that are in the tissue paper as well, the Jane Davenport ones, and just add some random pops of colour amongst that blue a bit more, I thought. And then the other one is I use a pink, and then I use white, but the white doesn't end up turning out very well, so I actually end up just using it for splatters. I think that's pretty much what that pen gets used for most of the time anyway. I don't own a big range of paint pens. They were brought for me, I think, as a birthday present. I don't use them very often, but I don't do lots of heavy mixed media like this, so I should probably. I think I've used them a couple of times to colour wood veneer and cut files and things like that. So the pinks to outline some of the larger die cut pieces. And so there's a few of them just to give them a bit more pop. And then, yeah, add some splatters and some doodly bits with the white pen, and I think that's it for this journal page. So I have some close-ups for you at the end shortly. You can see my craziness. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me to know what everyone likes to see. And definitely, yeah, if you're not a subscriber already, it'd be great to have you subscribe to my channel. Here you go, some close-ups here. Yeah, so you can see some more of my crafty craziness. But yeah, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.